and this is today's Army Freehold News. Today we got a special guest today. He works at Lakehurst Naval Air Station. Behind me is the building where he actually works at. This is the Mid-Atlantic Battalion building. All right, this is where all the big things go down. All our records is here. All the bosses work here. This is the brain of the organization. All right, so when we go in here today, this is our special guest. He is our new incoming battalion commander. All right, so he has big things, big aspirations for us, and I'm about to dig in and see what he got planned for us. So, I got the Lieutenant Colonel here. All right, so what we're gonna do is today, I'm gonna ask him a few little questions, and he's gonna talk to us. He's gonna let you know a little bit about himself, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, sir?
Yeah.
So, would you be able to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Toolan. I am originally from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, which is interestingly enough in our footprint for recruiting. Been in the Army about 21 years, married with one son who's 4 years old. My off-duty time, I'm a huge sports fan, all Philadelphia teams, right? So I'm going to catch some flack when I go up to North Jersey, all those Giants fans. But, if I'm not working or doing something with my family, I'm usually watching or thinking about one of our sports teams here in the area. And, I hope to take advantage of that and make sure I get to a lot of games while I'm here. But, so I'm a field artillery officer by trade. Just got done commanding a MLRS battalion at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, where we just recently redeployed from Korea. Just excited for this different opportunity that, honestly, I didn't think was really even possible for me, but it's been interesting to see about recruiting so far.
Okay. If you don't mind, you're getting interviewed by a Cowboys fan. You know that, right, sir?
Oh, all right. Well,
my station commander is a Cowboys fan, too.
This interview is probably going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. I shouldn't have said that.
All right, this is the only time that a Philadelphia Eagles fan and a Cowboys fan is ever going to really get along.
Well, we're on the most important same team, right? So that's all that matters.
That's true. All right. The second question I have for you is, as a native to the area, and what do you think the military service means to our community that we here in North Jersey?
Yeah. So I've said this to a couple people, right? So there's really two thoughts. The first is that having served in the Army as long as I have, I've met every single, I've served with people from all over, foreign countries, the islands, the Caribbean, every state in the country. And I will say that when I meet people from this area of the country, Philly and New Jersey, they tend to be good soldiers. They come from good education backgrounds. They come from good families. They've got the Army values. Usually pretty physically fit, and so. My experience has been is that if you can get people to join from this area, they turn out to usually be very good soldiers. You don't even need to bring your wallet. And so I just think that we're not extremely prevalent in this part of the country like we are in some of the other parts of the country. But it's obvious that when they see you and they meet you, the people of this region are just as patriotic and just as thankful for what we do for the country and the nation as everyone else that you see around. So I just want to give that opportunity to people from this area.
And I see that too, being out there on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well. Okay, so you kind of hit it briefly. How does it feel to come back and actually command this Mid-Atlantic region, and you're in charge of it now?
Yeah, so personally and professionally, it feels surreal. It kind of feels weird. Like I've decided to live kind of in the area where I'm from. My parents live right around the corner. I'm not sure if my wife is super excited about that, but they live right around the corner from where I am. And sometimes driving home in uniform to really where I'm from, it just feels a little weird. It feels awesome, but a little odd, right? Because I've spent so much time away. But as far as commanding this battalion, I see it as a huge opportunity. Knowing this region, and it's, I went to 3 stations yesterday. The names of the high schools they're talking about, I played basketball against those high schools. I've been in their gymnasiums. Like, I know a lot about the area. I got to learn a little bit about North Jersey, but South Jersey and the Philadelphia area, I know. And so, like I kind of alluded to earlier, I just want to be the best I possibly can be for this battalion, to put recruiters in position to win and give. Look, joining the Army was the best decision I've ever made, right? My life has been wonderful. I've gotten to go all over the earth to do and work with the best people on the earth. I just want to give that same opportunity to the people from this area.
Okay. So with your experience, how can the Army help the young adults in these areas, in these regions, pursue their goals?
Yeah. And so there is a tendency, I think, to think from the outside looking in that the Army is for maybe certain individuals that don't have other opportunities, or, you know, in some, you know, you hear it in some areas, it's kind of a last resort thing, and we all know, the three of us know from serving in the Army, everyone, that is not true, right? It is not true. There are enlisted soldiers. My first sergeant in my last unit, he had a PhD, okay, a tract, that you can't think of the Army as some kind of last resort. Like, I tried all this other, because of all those options, we all know from serving, it was the best choice for us, and we have really benefited from it. And so I think the best thing we can do is just make sure that we're not presenting, you know, a negative light about why to join the Army, but that it's all positive, you know. And I tell people, whether you do it for 3 years or 33 years, if you do the Army program, you know, and you complete your 3 years, you know, post 9/11 GI Bill, life experience, the job training, you know, all those different things, they're just benefits. You know, and obviously if you do it for 33 years, you're walking away with, you know, a pension that's going to take care of you probably for most of the rest of your life. So just do the Army program and you're going to win from it.
And you would agree that when you join, and it helps with your resume, it puts you above, gives you discipline, it sets you above your peers, because like, a lot of people want to join after college because they think, oh, you know, I get a degree, I could already get, you know, money, more money. Sure. But you would agree that, you know, joining the Army to build you up, because a lot of kids out here, they really don't really understand what they want to do yet, you know. As back when you were 18, 19, you didn't really understand what you wanted to do, right?
Right. And so it's a really interesting question, because I think when you go to talk to an 18 or 24-year-old, someone in that region, they're looking for, look, I want hard facts. What am I getting out of this? You know, like, is it college money? Is it job training? Is it whatever? But I think the older you get in life, the more you realize that all those things you mentioned, you know, sometimes they're referred to as the soft skills, leadership, discipline, you know, the ability to communicate, the ability to be a part of a team, ability to lead a team. That is what employers, it doesn't matter what business you're in, what, you know, service you're in, what industry you're in. Those are the skills that win in the end of the day. And so we have to continue to push those things, with coupling that with, look, okay, great, these are the things, right? Now maybe you're going to have a hard time sort of internalizing that, because you really haven't been out in the workforce yet. But here is what you are actually getting, you know, medical benefits, dental benefits, all those things. But absolutely, we cannot miss the opportunity to try to propagate the idea that no matter what you choose to do after the Army, your employer is going to be happy when you're showing up on time, you know, you're dressed a certain way, you act a certain way, you're a member of a team. And so absolutely, we can't miss the opportunity to
it's a huge stepping stone in your life. Kind of going away from the recruiting, and now if it had, you know, some effect to it, then that's cool.
Sure.
Who was a role model to you, sir?
Yeah, so I don't think I personally have like one role model. I think I've taken a lot from a lot of different people, and I think that is a good approach to looking at people as you try to, you know, you just try to learn things from folks. Obviously, my father is a large part of my life. You know, he kind of showed me what it was like to be a father, be a husband, have a solid work ethic. He was interested in military service. He didn't serve himself, but you know, has always had an interest in it. And so when I started looking at colleges, you know, that's how I ended up getting commissioned. And so that's one person. As I then got into the Army and I started looking at senior officers and senior non-commissioned officers, I can tell you my first sergeant in the Army was a guy named Dorsey. He retired as a sergeant major. He's still at Fort Sill. You just looked at him and there just wasn't anything that he didn't do the way it was supposed to be done. So as you start to look at those things, you start to try to model that behavior. And I think I've done that as I've continued on. The next couple of years of my career, I just start looking at the people who are just kind of above me, or maybe 2 levels above me, and just start kind of seeing what they're doing. I can tell you that one way you know that you have been watching role models is you just start saying the things that they said to you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know, really, that's what the Army is all about: leader development. So you know, like, not a single thing I've really said I've ever come up with, right? Mm-hmm. But as you start listening, you start writing them down, and you start kind of internalizing what these, in my case, senior officers, senior NCOs have been saying, they start to make sense, and you find yourself in meetings saying it, and a young lieutenant looks at you and you're like, wow, and you're like, well, I didn't make it up, right? I learned it from somewhere. And so that's kind of how I approach role models.
Okay, and they left that lasting impact on it.
Yep, 100%.
And the cool thing about it is, too, all these people that have left those impacts on you weren't from your area, your neck of the woods. They were all around the world.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. And that's the best part about the Army, is the diversity and the fact that everyone is from, but we all join the same team, we all belong to the Army, right? This is the name tag that matters, and yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, hey, thank you again, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, so today, he was our special guest, Lieutenant Colonel Toolan. So I hope y'all enjoyed today. He told them about just himself. So we would like you guys to tune in next week for our 4th episode. All right, we have a special guest then too. All right, stay easy, Breezy.